I'm Jake.
And I'm Marlin.
aka Gee, and we just got back from the cinema from seeing Superman 2025 by James Gunn. It's the much hyped up reboot after the very messy attempt at the DC extended universe. It all started with Man of Steel, then just kind of became messy afterwards. Based on everything I've read, it was meant to kind of both kind of redo and also just reestablish some things. And unlike a lot of people, I really enjoyed Man of Steel, and
Yeah, me too.
yeah, I really dug it. But I agree, a lot of what came afterwards was a bit up and down. And I like James Gunn's previous DC movie, The Suicide Squad. The good Suicide Squad movie. Idris Elba over Will Smith. But anyway, we went to go see his Superman movie, and after seeing it, what did you think?
I liked it. I liked it. The scope of the depth of the characters was really broad. A lot of people were involved. It's a movie. And if you like action, it goes on and on. If you like to see Superman never get hit, never get hurt, this isn't a movie for you.
Yeah, he gets pretty beat up in this one. And what did I think of it? I'm not sure I liked it. I liked parts of it, but this was definitely kind of a mixed bag for me.
It was a very mixed bag, but I got so that I did like it. And would the new guy be okay? And because I liked Henry Cavill, and I thought he was fine. Why did you let Henry go? And this guy pulled off, I think, what they wanted to give to the persona of Superman, and I thought he did it very well.
Superman's a character which I agree with a lot of people. He definitely has the flaw being the most perfect with his powers, but it all comes down to the actor. And I love Christopher Reeve, Henry Cavill. He wasn't given too many opportunities. He did all right. The new guy they got, David Cornsweet, I think that's what he's called. I won't say he gave a bad performance, but I think the thing that bothered me the most with this film was the tone. It worked in some parts, but there were other parts where it went into pretty much comedy route, which was a bit hard for me to get behind at times. I mean, I know that's what James Gunn does, but this wasn't exactly my type of comedy. And David Cornsweet, he did well in the action. I agree, the action was pretty good. But the way the way James Gunn wrote this new Superman, I'm not sure this is the type of Superman I could get behind. The whole thing was just him more or less being very insecure or whiny at times.
Insecure, things weren't going right for him. On the other hand, they really emphasized the goodness in him. He cared about the people. He cared about animals that might get hurt, on and on and on. So
the thing that I liked the most was when he was concerned for the dog. That was a genuine moment, and I was totally up for an idea of Superman feeling depressed because of how everybody's perceiving him or attacking him, but it just was a bit much for me. Just the way he acted. And I'll get into this later with the other actor, but like Henry Cavill's Christopher Reeve, they definitely felt like the Superman. This guy felt like more like a super college kid almost. Like it was hard to really buy him as the fully grown Superman, because it's sad what he's been doing this for a while at this point. Like, this is not an origin movie.
No, it's not. But they did go back and do some origin flashbacking and information. And both parents were alive in this movie. And
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and these people looked a whole lot more like Midwest farmers than anything they had in the past.
I wasn't a big fan of how they did the mom. She just seemed like a dumb yokel almost. But The Pa character, Pa Kent, he and Clark have probably the best dramatic scene in the film that honestly was a bit pulling on the strings.
Yeah, very good. And it just mattered to them all. This is your base. This is, good, being kind, being generous, all of that other kind of thing throughout. And they're just going with that in the character.
The new Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan, well, that's how you pronounce it. She's definitely a little more of the classic Lois, but something that they carried over from Man of Steel that I'm so happy for is that she knows in this version that Clark is Superman. It's not the whole, I don't know, like, why aren't they ever in the same room, that shit.
Yeah. It's just and even she said, the glasses aren't going to keep fooling people.
And then they pulled the thing that a lot of, I think, fans have talked about, the idea that the glasses hypnotize people, which I appreciate that. But Lois and Clark, their scenes, I think, were some of the strongest parts.
Yes, they worked each other over a little bit, back and forth. She challenged him as a reporter because of the way he as Superman would be answering questions and trying to point out you shouldn't really go that way because, and this is when he was in the middle of getting all of the bad press because of the fabrication of the people who were trying to bring him down.
Yeah, that's a big thing. There's a campaign to smear Superman's name in this, paint him as reckless or bad because he's helping out certain countries that are in the middle of conflict, and no shock, it's all tied to Lex Luthor, who is played this time by Nicholas Hoult, who we've seen a bunch of stuff. I saw him last year in Nosferatu, and I just gotta say, I hated this Lex Luthor.
You hated him as a character because he's evil, or you didn't like the portrayal?
I didn't like this characterization. I never saw him as a legit threatening villain, and it's nowhere near as stupid as Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal, but Jesus Christ, this guy, I said that David Cornside, he could come off a little whiny at times, but this Luthor, he felt less like a maniacal evil genius and more like a, 13-year-old kid throwing a temper tantrum half the time, and just made me think, oh, how I miss Gene Hackman so much.
Yeah, if you like Gene Hackman, you won't like this guy. On the other hand, I thought that he came off with some cold steel evil at times. He did pull off that back and forth between all of his interplay with his own staff and all that other kind of thing.
The staff had good moments, but I just wasn't down with this Lex, and no offense to Nicholas Hoult, just it's like certain actors get cast in certain roles and you feel like they aren't the best fit, and if you dug them, that's fine. Just, I couldn't get behind this particular characterization. Like I said, I'm very mixed. The action was good. The scenes with Lois and Clark were great, but the commentary on social media and hate campaigns, I thought was a bit too on the nose, a bit too preachy at times for my taste.
Well, I myself don't find that's preachy, on the other hand, because it's things you need to be worried about.
And now to probably the most hyped up part of the commercials, trailers of this film, Crypto the Super Dog. That is a thing in the previous canons with the character. In fact, I remember as a kid there was a cartoon show on Cartoon Network called Crypto the Super Dog, all about the dog's adventures. And what did you think of the dog?
I think the dog was maddening at times about how he was messing up and not doing what, but on the other hand, it came through, and he was very effective for the work that had to be done, as you would see as the movie went on.
again, I'm not the biggest fan of some of the new characters. This dog, I loved the version I'd seen before. This version, he could be a little, if he was only a little rebellious, but this dog is a fucking pest most of the time. And all I could think was, just throw him in the fucking lake. But yeah, he could rip up people pretty bad.
Oh yeah, when he got the idea that this is something that had to be dealt with, he did.
There was a character who could like change his physical shape.
Could morph.
Yeah, and that character, I think his name was Rex. I liked him. He was a fun addition.
They did a good job with it, and you know, they gave him a persona. He wasn't just this alien that could do this and do that. It was
Guy that didn't really have a choice most of the time, and
Yeah.
he was very grateful, obviously, for Superman.
yes.
I think the last thing with the characters, at least, to really talk about is the addition of some, I guess, old favorites. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific, I think.
Mr. Terrific.
It was a new character I hadn't seen before, and they're part of this, I guess, wannabe group of superheroes called, and the Green Lantern keeps trying to name them the Justice Gang. Get it? And I hate repeating myself, but I'm not exactly sure where to stand with these characters. What did you think? Did you enjoy them?
Oh, it was a mixed bag. You were very disappointed with them kind of in the beginning, but as things went on, they shaped up. They weren't the Justice League. It was a Justice League knockoff and a certain amount of like tongue-in-cheek Justice League stuff. I think that's part of the comedy that maybe you didn't appreciate that much. I don't know.
Possibly. Just the Mr. Terrific character. He had cool powers, but I don't know. The guy playing him came off a bit flat, in my opinion.
They all were flawed people. They had the powers. They could do a lot of things, but even they were weighing advantages and disadvantages whether they were going to engage in part of this initially. They stepped back for a while, so it was funny.
Well, not my type of funny. But the Hawk Girl, she wasn't really featured that much.
Not much.
Wasn't the biggest fan of the Green Lantern, but the final joke with him, the very last joke with him, was legit funny. I guess overall, I would say it's maybe on the same level as the original 2017 Justice League, the one that was a mix of two different visions, Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon, where it can go in a kind of dark direction, but then go comedy, and you're not exactly sure at times what to make of it, but I'm not sure I'd go see this again, but if you're for like, you know, the good-hearted Superman and some good action, I think you could get into some parts of it. Just be prepared for a lot of internet age, very cringy humor.
Okay, yes, internet age humor. In fact, if you like Superman and you like the good guys winning, yeah, this is a movie for you. It is. The Justice League folks and Superman's
Justice
character.
Gang, folks.
Yes. The Justice Gang folks and Superman, you know, they really did a lot of things different with the characters.
Oh, I just gotta say, best subtle moment is when there's like an alien jellyfish in the background, and he's like, "Oh, they're taking care of that." that was legit funny.
Yes, it was. Now, we didn't say, but it goes without saying, they had some really excellent special effects, and the way the technical
fortress
evil things that they developed were done well.
The fortress and like of Solitude and the design of, you had to see it to get this, but there's like this thing called a pocket dimension. The design of it, this dimensional prison that Lex Luthor has made, it's pretty cool looking, and again, I would not give it a total negative. Like on the 5-star scale, maybe 2.5.
I do better than that.
Well, mixed opinions make good conversation.
Yes.
And it was fun to see this with you.
Yeah.
I will say though, movies do not need 20 minutes of trailers. I remember we were watching and I'm thinking, so when's the movie gonna start already?
Yeah. It went on for a bit. They had credits. They had 2 bits that were
Yeah, but that's expected with superhero movies.
okay.
Can't really say they were worth sitting through. Well, thanks for joining me, Guy.
Wouldn't have had it any other way. I would recommend that you see it if you like action and you like Superman. You wouldn't see it again, and I don't think I would pay the full retail price to see it again.
Well, glad you liked it, and
I did.
hope you enjoyed this mostly spoiler-free review, and we'll see you again hopefully soon.